knew him as Uncle Elwood, and I had to gauge my life by him. This thing. Anyhow, I had to let them kids talk first because I grew up with my cousins, and I respect them. I want to see what they had to say. And Uncle Elwood gives me hope because now I'm a father with a young son like my cousin Tony. And I'm telling you, the wild man is my cousin Tony. I'll never forget the stories I heard him. Some little Oriental deputy sheriff yelling at him and then hauling him off to jail after he'd run him off the road for not dimming his lights. Did he? Well, I break a sweat worrying about my son, and I think about Tony, and I think it's got to be all right. Somehow it's going to be okay. He's not going to jail somehow. And I think, well, Uncle Elwood was probably the reason, because if he hadn't had Uncle Elwood for a dad, he probably would have wound up in prison, and we'd have to go visit him. But somehow he got through it, and I know my son will get through it, and I live my life thinking, what would Uncle Elwood do? I guess he's got a lot of nicknames. I think I always heard of him referred to as Skinny when I was a little kid. And my dad would say Skinny, and my mom would say Skinny. And I think they gauged what they did right or wrong by what Skinny would do, too. And I think he's a bit older. You know, he's even a bit wiser. And I think what formed Uncle Elwood is probably the times he grew up in. And surely he knew what hard times were. And he'd share those stories with us, and I would just be amazed that he made it. You know, I mean, the sickness and the poorness of the country. And he made it. I know he had so much grit, more grit than I got, and more grit than most people I know. But he was successful in my mind, and I told him that because he had lived a good life, a long life, and he had some great kids that he could be really proud of, and they all turned out really fantastic. I always lived in amazement of my cousins and my Uncle Elwood named Betty. I always thought, that's the way I want to be, just like him. And that's all I got to say.